Hey writers, welcome to another tutorial by Aspiring Writer Academy. My name is Samantha Panzera, and today we are going over how to set up and install a plugin called Grow by Mediavine. It's a social media button plugin that enables great share counts that allow you to see what pages people are really liking on your website to share to friends. It makes it easy for visitors to share. And overall, it's a really great plugin that every writer should have installed on their WordPress website. Alright, let's get started. Okay, so before getting into how to install and set up this plugin, Grow by Mediavine, I just wanted to show you real quick on my website, Adventure Hike Travel, what does this plugin look like, what are the functions, what does it do exactly. So currently, we are on one of my blog posts, 15 hiking quotes to inspire adventure. And you can see I have the plugin set up where it is displayed on the top of my blog post here. It has this little sharing is caring, cool little call to action reminder for your audience to share your blog post. It has the Facebook share count, which is currently at 6, Twitter, and then Pinterest, which is 12,504 shares. And so it's a great way for you as a writer to know how well like certain blog posts are doing, like are people sharing it. And it has, you can set it up to be at the top and bottom of every blog post. And then I also have this cool little floating sidebar. So as you scroll through your blog, it remains right there. Makes it really easy. That way, if someone is halfway through the article, they can still stop and share your post. Another feature is on the hover, a little Pinterest share button pops up on your images that are embedded in your site. Alright, and so that's kind of how it looks on the outward display of your blog post and your website. You can customize it where if you don't want the buttons to show on the footer or the header of your blog post, if you don't want a sidebar, do you want the sidebar on the left or right hand side of your page? You have full control over that. You can control whether the buttons show up on mobile devices or only on PC. So now that I've shown you how it looks on the display end of your website, let's go onto the Grow by Mediavine dashboard and show you how that setup looks like. Okay, so right now I'm in my WordPress dashboard and I clicked on my Grow by Mediavine button. You can find this in the bottom left-hand corner of your WordPress dashboard. There's these buttons: toolkit, floating sidebar, inline content, Pinterest, follow widget, and settings. But when you just click the Grow, this is what pops up right here. After you have it installed, I'll show you how to install it next. But this is what it looks like. Here you can control, do you want the buttons to be floating on your sidebar of your website? You can toggle that on and off by clicking there. You can choose, do you want the content in line with your blog post? At the top, bottom of your page, you can edit the settings. Do you want your buttons showing up on mobile devices? Do you want the buttons to show up as a pop-up? You can control whether there's going to be a Pinterest icon, share icon, that pops up when you hover over an image. You can control the individual settings of that. You can control whether there's a follow widget in your right-hand sidebar of your blog. By clicking over here on floating sidebar, You can show, so this is where you can control what shows up on the left-hand side or the right-hand side floating with your content. Do you want it Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, email, print button? You can click select networks. And from selecting networks, you can choose what social media platforms you want it to display that people can share it to. I currently have only Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, email, and print showing up. You can choose the different style of your button. Do you want it solid icons or icons that light up when you hover on them? Or just the logo. Underneath display settings here, you can choose the button shape. Do you want it rectangular, rounded, a circle? You can choose the button size, large, medium, small. Choose do you want the buttons to appear on the left or the right hand side of the page? You can add spacing, add animation, to show up only after a person has scrolled down your blog post a bit. Do you want it showing on mobile devices or not? You can control whether it shows a share count. Like, if you don't have too many shares yet, you might not want it displaying that it has 0 shares. You might want to just toggle it on after people have started sharing it. Can control whether the share count shows before or after the logo. You could put into the parameters minimum share goal before it displays. If you are concerned about people being like, oh, there's only a low share count, wait until maybe after 100 shares it'll show that number. Or whatever number you choose. And you can even customize the button's color. I leave them on their default, but you can select a certain color for them. You can choose where these buttons show up. Is the floating sidebar going to show up on only blog posts, on your website pages, product template pages? And so that's all the customizable controls for the floating sidebar. Now over here on the left-hand side of the page, you can navigate to Inline Content. And the Inline Content are the buttons that show at the top and bottom of your blog post, or you could just have it show up on one or the other. You don't have to have it on both the top and the bottom. I currently have it displaying only Facebook, Twitter, and Pinterest that people can share to. But underneath Select Networks, you can click and choose from all these other social platforms if you want them to be displayed as well. You don't want to choose too many or it kind of gets cluttered. It's better to pick the few that you really want to target. Keep your site looking clean and neat. Right here you can choose the button style. I currently have this selected. Like right here, let's navigate. So you can see my top buttons here. They're the solid style. They go across the board on the top and bottom of my blog posts, where you can see the share count. Navigate back to. So if you don't want it solid color looking, you can choose like one of these where it shows the hover or different display styles. And again, you can choose for the inline content now whether you want the button shapes rectangular, rounded, circles, how large do you want them, small, medium, large. Do you want there to be an animation? Right here, this is where I have checked above and below, where you can have it just above content, just below content, or both. I have it set to 3 columns. Now, if you have more social profiles selected that you want to share to, you might want to change it to, um, yeah, select a few different sizes here. Like if you have 5, you might want 5, or auto width. You can choose the text that appears. Let's click right. I have the default sharing is caring, but if you want, right here under share text, you can customize what text you want there. If you don't want the sharing is caring, you could say share my blog or whatever you want to type in there. You can toggle the show button labels. You can have different button spacing. I currently, on my blog posts, have no spacing, but if you want there to be a white space in between the buttons, by clicking share button spacing, that's what would adjust. And again, for the inline content, you can choose whether it has the share accounts or not, and customize where they show, what they show, can alter the button colors. I currently have these share buttons for the inline only on my blog posts. I don't have them on my website pages or my product pages because I think it just looks a little bit cleaner on my website. Let's navigate to the home page to show what I'm talking about. Wait for that to load. Okay, so right here on my homepage, you can see I have it where it shows the floating sidebar, which has the Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, email, and print icons. But I do not have at the top or the bottom of my page those wide inline content share buttons. Instead, I have part of my theme little tiny share buttons at the top and bottom of my site, but that's not with the social share plugin Grow by Mediavine. Okay, so back to our controls. So that's how you customize the inline content of your Grow by Mediavine buttons. I'm gonna click now on Pinterest. Now, this is where you customize the settings just for Pinterest. By clicking Pin Description Source, you can choose whether it's grabbing the text data from the alt tag, or from the image title, or the custom Pinterest description. Now, I'll quickly show you what it means by that. So, right here, I'm on one of my blog posts. Let me just click Add Image. So right here, I'm currently in my media of my website, and you can see on the image alt tag, this has a little description here. Title, this is the name of your image. Then I have a little description. But right here, by having the Grow by Mediavine plugin installed, normally you wouldn't have this, but by having that plugin, you get this little thing where you can enter custom pin description. You can create a custom title just for that image that will be shown on Pinterest. If you want a different title for your image on Pinterest graphics or Pinterest shares versus Google shares, you can enter that. If you don't want an image to be shareable to Pinterest, you can choose like disable pinning. You can compress your image, that saves website space. Scroll it to best image quality or custom compress. And so those are all really great features that are just for Pinterest that really are great with this plugin. So back to the Configure Pinterest tab on our Grow by Mediavine. There you can choose, do you want all your images on your website pinnable, or you can choose only the images from post content. So a lot of people may want only the images from their blog posts to be shareable. Can also choose only the Pinterest images set for post. So if you don't want the content that you have included in your blog to be shareable, but only the set featured image of your pin. So going back to, let's get out of here. So here's on our, I'm currently on a blog post. This is the edit dashboard. By having the Grow by Mediavine installed, you get this little section at the bottom of editing your blog posts where it says you can select what your social media image will be, choose the title that shows up on Facebook, so, and also social media description. So if you want a different title or like shorter description that for your images that are shared on Facebook, this is where you can edit them. Right here, you can say a overall featured image. So when someone clicks on your Pinterest share button, if you don't have a set one, that's what would pop up, just all the images in your blog post. But let's... Okay, so if you click, okay, so right here, only the Pinterest image is set for this post. You can set the custom images right here. This is the main featured one for this page, and then I have all these other hidden shares. A featured image shows up right here. I'm clicking the pin button, and this first image that it automatically selects, that's my set featured image. But by having these hidden images, if I go to share them right here, this image shows up. This image shares up. This one, you can have different variations showing up on a post that aren't visible anywhere in the content of your blog. Let me click on another blog post for example. I think here, backpacking Upper Lena Lake would be a little easier to see. Okay, so right now on backpacking Upper Lena Lake, if you click on the Pinterest button, you can see there's the main featured image. It's cutting off, but it'd share the whole one, which would be this. When you share it on Pinterest, you'd see these guys right here. But I have all these other hidden images. And if someone goes to share, right here, that's one of the hidden images that's shareable. Here's another hidden image. Here's a different hidden image. See how the hikers are at the top of the page while the Lena Lake is below? That's different than the main graphic. Right here is my main share graphic. Over here is a different hidden image. And so by having all these different pinnable hidden images embedded into your blog post, it's a great way to have different graphics to Pinterest that all link back to your one post without cluttering up your website. Hit cancel. So right here, you can scrolling through my website. I don't have any of those hidden images in here. Okay, so back to the tools. I'm back on the Grow by Mediavine tab, editing the Pinterest section. Here you can select, do you want it compatible with different page builders, lazy load, which just loads after the other content, making your site speed up a bit. You can choose the button position. Do you want your little Pinterest hover button to show up on the top left corner, top right, bottom left, bottom right, center of your image? That hover button is what shows up on, see right here, the little share button. I'm getting 2 share buttons, but that's only because I have the Pinterest on Google Chrome extension installed on this computer. But people that don't have that plugin, just this one would show up right here. And then you can choose, do you want the Pinterest image hover to show up on only blog posts, product pages? I have it turned off on the pages of my main website because I don't want those images as shareable. So that's how you edit your Pinterest page. So let's go to follow. Now your follow widget, these buttons are different than your share. These are so people can follow you on social media. I have a Facebook follow button, Instagram, YouTube, and Pinterest. Right here is, again, where you can select what social media profiles you want people to follow you on. You can change and choose the button style right here. Choose the display settings. Do you want it rounded, a circle, auto width? Do you want the buttons animated at all? You can select custom colors. Then remember, hit save changes every time you make a change. And then finally, in overall settings, here you can change like link shortening, different share recoveries, and can play around with this. I have Google Analytics installed, so I can keep track with Google Analytics hooked up to my share buttons. Okay, so now that you know what Grow by Mediavine buttons do exactly, let's get into how we can install them. To install Grow by Mediavine, first you're going to want to log into your WordPress dashboard. So I'm currently on Aspiring Writer Academy, and I'm going to click on my URL and type /wp-admin. Hit enter, wait for that to load. Once you enter in your login username and password, then we can get to installing the plugin. So right here, you can enter your login email, username, password. Click login. Now, once you're in your WordPress dashboard, you're going to want to navigate to the left-hand side of your screen and scroll down to plugins. Now you can hover and scroll down to add new, or just click on plugins. And once you reach the plugins page, click on add new. Now, once you're on the plugins page where you can search for plugins, scroll over to keyword and type grow. That might pull it up right there. And there it pops up, Grow by Mediavine. Yep, that's what we want. Install now. Okay. Then click Activate. Alright, let's click on Go to the plugin. Or if you want to, it brings you to your overall plugins page here. You can scroll down to your plugins and see right here I have Grow by Mediavine. You can click Settings. Or on the left hand corner here, there's Grow. You can click on that. All of them bring you exactly where you want to be. Alright, and now we're on the Grow by Mediavine page. Okay, so now that you've installed Grow by Mediavine, you have access to the free, limited version of Grow, which is still great for any beginner blogger. You get the floating sidebar here in the left corner, and you get inline content, but you do not get many of the cool, pro features with the free version. You don't get as much customization and flexibility with editing your site. Let's navigate to our media tab. So right here on the media page, you can click on an image, and you can see that you don't get all the different features that the pro version has. Let's navigate to the media page of Adventure Hike Travel. So here's the difference between the paid and the free. Okay, so currently on Adventure Hike Travel, you can see I have all these, but right here I have the extra customization with the Grow by Mediavine, where I can compress the image, edit the pinned description. You don't get any of that with the free here. And then when you go to the post tab, let's click on a post. Wait for that to load. Alright, so on the post tab, you scroll down, and you don't get with the free version where you can add hidden images or customize your Facebook image and title. Here on the Adventure Hike Travel, this entire block where you can choose a different social media image, I have it the same as my featured, but you can have it different. You can change the different social media title, social media description, the Pinterest featured image for your page, and have all these cool extra Pinterest hidden images. You don't get that with the free version. So right here on the edit post of the free version of Mediavine Grow, you can see you don't get that. So let's go and actually install the paid version now. Navigate back to... Let's exit that out. Alright, plugins. On the left-hand side of your dashboard here, click Grow. We're back on our homepage for our free version of Grow by Mediavine. And we're going to click Upgrade to Pro. Now, the Pro version of Grow is $34 a year per website. I'm going to click Buy Now. Going to choose a single license for one website. If you have multiple websites that you're setting up, you could choose 2, 3, 4, 5, 10. I'm clicking Purchase. Now it's added to cart. I'm going to Checkout. Now on the checkout page, if you already have an account, you can log in, but I'm creating a brand new account for Aspiring Writer Academy, so I'm not going to log in with my Adventure Hike Travel email and password. But right here under personal info, you can enter your email, your first and last name, enter in your credit card info, name on card, card number, month, year, CVC, your billing details, and then click Purchase. I'm going to do that real fast, and then we'll go about as setting it up. After you've clicked Purchase, you'll be brought to this page, which is basically your receipt. It has your license key to activate your plugin, or right here, we're going to want to download the zip file of the Pro version. So you click on Download Zip, and then you save it. After you've saved the zip file of your plugin, navigate back to your website where we can go and activate it. Okay, so now back on your website, you're going to want to navigate to Plugins, and we're going to want to click Add New. Now, instead of searching for a plugin, we're going to click Upload Plugin. Going to click Choose File. Click on the zip file that you've just downloaded, Mediavine Grow. Click Install Now. Then it'll bring you to this page that the plugin has been successfully installed, and you're going to want to click Activate Plugin. Now that the plugin has been activated, you'll scroll down to the left-hand side of your corner, click on Grow, and now we can start the fun part of actually customizing our plugin. Okay, so to customize our social media plugins, you can follow along and set it up like I do, or customize it how you like. I'm gonna have a floating sidebar, and you can even customize those settings. I'm gonna have on my floating sidebar Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, and let's add a thing where people can email and click Print. Apply selection. I'm gonna keep that button style. I'm gonna have the button shape rectangular. Gonna bring it to large. Gonna have it on the left. I'm not gonna have any button spacing. I'll have it show share count, but I'm gonna have it after the buttons. And for now, I'm gonna have it just on our blog post pages. Or you know what, I'll add it to product, but I'm gonna keep it off of the main website page. Gonna hit Save Changes. And so that's how you customize your floating sidebar, which is on the left-hand side of the page on Adventure Hike Travel. Let me show. my website. Right here, that's the floating sidebar. Yeah, you can see on this I have my Facebook page, Twitter, Pinterest, print, email, print email. Or you know what? On Aspiring Writer, let's actually have it on all pages for the floater. The inline content I'll have just on the post and product. Click Save. Wait for that to load. Okay, once that's loaded, can navigate to inline content. The inline content is the strip across. I'm going to have only Facebook, Twitter, and Pinterest, but if you want to select another network to add, you can add LinkedIn, Reddit, WhatsApp, Buffer. But I think it gets a little cluttered when you have a lot of social share buttons. You can see on the... Let's go to my blog post here. Here's one. See how it looks nice and clean and neat by having just the three. Have the sharing is caring, and then you scroll down. And then I have it in the footer. So let's do that for Aspiring Writer Academy. Just having three. Apply selection. Here you can choose the design of what you want for your buttons going across that top strip to look like. I'm going to keep that. Button shape. Let's do rectangular and large. And then I'm going to have button position above and below content. And I'm not going to show it on mobile. I think sometimes it gets a little cluttered on mobile devices and people don't like that. I'm going to show the share count along with the total. So by clicking share count, it'll be showing how many times it's been shared on Facebook, Pinterest, and you can see the breakdown of the shares. Example here, this post, I've had it shared a lot on Pinterest, well, not so much on Facebook or Twitter. And I've had other blog posts that you can see have been shared more on Facebook, more on Pinterest. Kind of depends on which ones go a little bit more viral. Alright, back to settings. Here you can change the button's colors. I'm going to leave the inline share content off for the moment, just on blog posts, and keep it off of pages and products. Click Save Changes. Wait for that to load. Okay, now that's saved, let's navigate back to the left-hand corner here and click on Pinterest. Now here on Pinterest we can control how it gets the data. I'm going to set it up for the custom Pinterest description that we set up right here. The Grow by Mediavine under images. Every time we upload an image to our website, we can add like the alternative text, description, title, or you can have a custom Grow by Mediavine pin title that only shows up on Pinterest, and a Grow by Mediavine pin description. Right here is the pin description. So right here, it gets the description for Pinterest from what you put in the pin description. I'm gonna have all my images pinnable, but if you only want your hidden images pinnable, we can do that. Example of hidden images is on, let me click on blog post here. I'm back on Adventure Hike Travel. Let's click on, how about backpacking up Berlina Lake? While that's loading, let's pop up. So right here for Upper Lena Lake, I created all these hidden graphics which are great for being shared on Pinterest that are a little bit different than the main Pinterest share graphic that I have set up. So right here on my blog post, you can see I have the designated Pinterest share graphic and then all these hidden images. Now going back to where you can edit your Mediavine Pinterest settings, you can choose, do you want to only share all the available images, or you can choose only the images that you set to be shared by your Grow by Mediavine. And I'm going to toggle on multiple hidden images. That way you can have a whole bunch of Pinterest hidden images that you can embed in your post. I'm going to add a post image for Pinterest. And I'll deal with these a little bit later. Can use the large size. Hit save changes. Next, gonna go over to settings. And I'll go ahead and activate link shortening. This is a brand new site, so I'm not going to have that for now. And I'm going to activate Google Analytics tracking. And I'll configure this a little bit more at a later time. Now right here, I'm going to want to authorize Grow with Mediavine with Facebook. Authorize Grow. Okay, authorized. Go ahead and enable Twitter account. And let's save change. And then right here, Grow by Mediavine license, we're going to want to register it. And so if you navigate back to the checkout where you have your license key, you're going to copy that. Then navigate to your WordPress dashboard. Gonna scroll, and on the bottom left hand corner here, hit Grow. Scroll down to Settings. And right here, when you scroll all the way down from Settings, Grow by Mediavine license, right there is where you copy and paste it in. Put in your license key to register your device. Hit Save Changes. And after that, your Pro plugin is fully authorized. It will be linked up and good to go. And that is how you set up a Grow by Mediavine social media button plugin. Now, if you like this tutorial, be sure to hit like and subscribe to our channel to receive other great video tutorials that can help you along with your writer journey. Alright, catch you next time.